Hi, welcome back to Ramblings of an Old Broad. It's Saturday. I've just really had a hard time getting back to the politics because I tried to stay away from them during this horrible flood in Texas. And the children, I, you know, it's hard to get out of your head. It really is. And I don't think politics should play into it, although it is starting to a little bit. Could have been prevented or not. And I think it goes back to the state because they could have had an early warning system put in, and at first they didn't want to do it because it was Democrat money. Then they decided they would, but then they sat on it. It was going to be $72,000, and they sat on it. Personally speaking, if my child was one of the victims, I don't think I could reconcile that. I just don't think I could. But that's not up to me. I didn't lose a child, and my heart breaks for everyone who did. Everyone. Now, I'm sure you saw, because I posted it on here, the Orange One's Truth Social about the flood. And he wasn't very concerned about the non-Americans and the ones who didn't speak English. And we shouldn't be looking at that. We should be looking at that, and we shouldn't be looking at him and Epstein and the Epstein files. Well, of course not. He doesn't want people to think about that because we all know he was friends with him for 7 to 10 years, and his name was on the flights, and he had multiple phone numbers in Epstein's phone and all of the stuff. And for some reason, the Republicans are more upset about that than the 34 convictions and the grape and all of the other things that he's done. He's done so many crimes, and they said, oh, that's okay, he can still be our president. And that's why I'm mad at you, Republicans. That's why. And look at the Republicans that are sitting there that could do something about this in the Senate, in the House, in the Congress, and they're doing nothing. Not even about the tariffs. The tariffs against Brazil is because that president is up on charges for the same thing he did, which is to terrorize the government to try to overthrow an election. And of course he's on his side, just like he's on the side of Israel's prime minister for the same thing, or worse. Anyway, he's for the criminals. He's not for you and me. I said the politics weren't on my mind, but evidently they were. I just have a hard time understanding. All these horrible things are happening in our world, in the United States. All these floodings, hurricanes, tornadoes, and he did send out FEMA in Texas. But is that the only place he's going to send them? And is it because of unfortunately, the people along the river were, for a better lack of word, is they were richer? I don't know. I would hate to think of that. But I guess we'll see. Is he going to send it out to New Mexico? Is he going to send it to North Carolina? Is he going to send it to these flood states? That's going to be the question. Or is it just a Texas thing? I'm getting ready to go to Missouri for a while. I'll be glad to get back and see old friends and hopefully do some protesting with some friends. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to imagine what your life's going to look like. You know how you would sit and maybe daydream a little bit about what life might be for you? I can't seem to do that. I can't seem to visualize the wonderful things that could be ahead. What? Sometimes that's all we have is that hope for the future, that hope for next week or next month or next year. What if we don't have that? What if we don't have that? I know I'm just an old lady. I'm 77 years old, and I probably don't have very many years left. So maybe my hopes of the future don't matter quite as much. But my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, they all matter. What about yours? Does yours matter? Because we're leaving them with this huge debt and a world we don't recognize. A world where we do not care about our fellow man. A world where being white is the only ticket. Yeah. That's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. So I want to say to all of you, use your voice. Use your voice on here. Use your voice on protests. Use your voice. Show that we're not happy with the way things are. There's so many on here speaking up, and I want to congratulate them and say, yay, speak up. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. Speak out. Speak out and tell the truth. I was listening to a lady, and she was a Republican who has switched to Democrat, and she said the reason she did it is she took a fact check tutorial. And when she started looking up facts, she realized she was being lied to over and over again by the media. And she couldn't believe that her own party was working against her. Sometimes we just need that one little push to wake up. One little push. So thank you for all my friends who are on here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I love you. And somehow, we're going to find a way to get through this. We have to, don't we? I love you.